You may be wondering what's happening next week in Washington. Let's find out with Bloomberg's national security editor, Nick Wadhams. Welcome, Nick. So what's going on?
Well, now that the president has the Epstein situation largely behind him with the Senate approving the decision to release those files, we do expect that President Trump is going to be looking outward again. He has often tried to sort of maintain that sort of dichotomy. So the big thing we're seeing right now is Ukraine and the possibility that the U.S. is going to push forward what looks to be a 28-point peace plan with Russia. We've had some rumblings in the last day or two that the administration is quietly in conversations directly with Russia about a potential deal. Obviously, we'd need to see buy-in from Ukraine there, but it would fit a broader pattern we've seen with this administration where they sort of put forward an idea or a plan, even with some specifics, even though they don't necessarily have buy-in from all parties. The template there was really the Gaza ceasefire, and then say, okay, here's the thing, here's the deal, now live up to it. So we expect that we may get some more indication of where the administration is headed with that. I mean, President Trump's still talking about the idea of a Nobel Peace Prize. And then the other thing we'll be looking at is Gaza and the possibility of setting up what the administration calls this international stabilization force. They're looking for other countries to send troops to help monitor that ceasefire in Gaza.
So what are the likelihood, based on what you're hearing, that the upcoming peace plan for Ukraine could gain traction?
Well, it's a great question because the big unknown there is what Ukraine is going to do. President Zelensky's strategy over the last several months has basically been to defer to everything that Trump wants. You recall that earlier this year when he sought to contradict President Trump, they had that blow up in the Oval Office that turned out to be disastrous, and he really had to spend months repairing the relationship. So President Zelensky has said repeatedly, yes, we want negotiations. We are ready to negotiate. The ball is in Russia's court. But once you see an actual potential plan that may include things such as concessions of land, potential limits on Ukraine's ability to join NATO in the long term, once you sort of see those hard targets in a peace plan like that, the onus is really going to be on President Zelensky to decide whether that's something he wants to sign up to or whether he feels that this process is getting away from him. So again, it's really going to be a question of where the devil is in the details. It would be a very long and drawn out process, but we should have a sign, in the middle of next week, whether Ukraine's willing to play ball here.
Nick Wadhams, national security editor at Bloomberg. Thanks so much.